We're fighting for fruits.
We're all fighting for fruits.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Thank you.
That's huge.
Try it.
Woo. All right. This one's sweet, crunchy, but it has even more similar texture to an apple. Yeah, it's not as crunchy as the other one. It's still like firm, but it has a more apple texture.
I am so excited about eating these jujubes. Yes, they are at the peak of ripeness right now, so they taste amazing. Really sweet. Some are really crispy. Some even taste like marshmallow or angel food cake. So yeah, I picked these up at the farmer's market. And what I really love about jujubes is that there's so many different kind of use with them. You can eat them in different stages of a jujube's life. They would taste different. The texture is different. Also, it's been used for so many, like centuries in traditional Chinese medicine to use, and they usually would use the dry jujube. So I'll talk, a little bit about everything and just to show you guys how to pick your jujubes.
What did she say?
I don't know what she said.
Talk to her.
我说这个甜不甜？
这个甜的多红色的，还有比较硬的是最甜的。
哦，这个不算很甜，
都很甜的，其实它全部都是很甜的。
我叫这个青的吃一下看看。我挑不是青的。
青的也好啊，其实有这个颜色的已经开始是很甜的。
是啊。
对。
哦。
然后这个就比较软的，这个。
软的哈，哦，要脆脆的好吃。
看你喜欢什么了，这个脆的是更硬的，
对，
这些
脆的好吃。这个就
还是这样吃的是软的，但是是很
甜的，
非常的甜的。
是的，
对，它干的比较甜的。
Now, aside from that, I also picked up some persimmons there because they are just in season right now, and I was able to pick the ones that are more ripe. And the ones for the jujubes, just a quick little tip there is that you want to look for the ones with a more red pigment rather than the yellow. So the more red-orange color is the one you want to look for. I also got, this is an avocado, a Mexicola avocado. It has really thin skin that is actually edible. So that's really cool. So anyway, the focus of this video is on jujubes, so why don't I go ahead and show you guys the different jujubes that I picked out. Jujubes are available usually from mid or late summer all the way to fall, and you would find them either at your local farmer's market if you live in places with a mild winter, or that has just a very light frost. They would, your local growers might grow them, or you can find them at the Asian markets. So jujubes, when they first fruit, they start out as green. Starting to pick up the little brown specks on there. It has a little drier taste, but it's still sweet. It's still sweet. It's definitely not like super sweet like the brown ones. But it still has flavor. What's the best about it?
It's free. Sample.
Love our variations of samples that Ronnie, here's a grower, and grows really amazing, delicious, tasty fruits. And he's just kind of letting us sample different kinds of stages of a jujube fruit.
One more week, and there won't be any more, so come down.
Well, by the time this video is posted, it's probably going to be gone.
Oh,
But
sorry.
if you guys are ever in Alhambra or Cerritos, the farmers market here, Alhambra is open on Sundays. And Saturdays, they're at the Cerritos Farmers Market. Did I say on Saturday? Yeah. And you want to wait for them to start building this golden brown, reddish copper color, kind of a pigment on the green. This one you can tell is pretty sweet already. It's just got a little hint of green right now left on there. Oh, right here. Here's a little speck of green right there. The jujubes are finishing up right now. Their season is pretty much or almost over, so everything is so ripe at this point, especially with the heat that we've been getting. The fruits are really ripening up very fast now. Jujubes kind of taste like a texture of an apple, but there are so many varieties of jujubes out there. The ones that I have right now are called Lee, is one of the common ones that people enjoy growing because it's sweet and they're big. And this is just a more dense, crunchy kind of a jujube. The texture is a bit dry on this one, and it's very firm and very crunchy. Next one up, I got this one here. This is one that's a little more ripe, so we're moving the scale from the least ripe to the most ripe for you. You can see the buildup of the golden brown color on here. So this one is even sweeter than the one I just had, especially when if you're looking for a crunchy sweet one, you want to press it just a little bit. Now don't press too hard, you don't want to be damaging the fruits, but just when you hold it and kind of gently press on it, it's a very firm, just very hard jujube with this kind of like a brown color around it. That's a very sweet, crunchy jujube. And yes, this is sweeter than the last one. The next thing I like to look for in a jujube, if you want to go for a really sweet one, is that, you know, like this one here is very firm, very shiny. And shiny meaning that it's not dull, very glossy fruit. And it's very smooth finish, meaning that it's still very firm, because the one that's more ripe, starting to kind of dry out, you get it more like that shrivel kind of a wrinkly effect. So that would be a more soft but sweet jujube. So it depends on what you like. And sometimes the one, actually my favorite ones for like the crunchy ones, I sometimes even see these cracks, and these are, I like to call them like sugar cracks. They're basically just so plump and so ripe, they start to kind of split a little. Now these ones I think are the sweetest and still very firm, but you do have to eat these fast because the inside is exposed to the air. They're more likely to mold, so only pick these ones for, you know, if you can finish it in a day or two. Now the more ripe it gets, the fruit is going to enhance that jujube flavor. Yeah, the jujube flavors just starts to come out more the drier, the more ripe the fruit gets. Now I'm going to be taking you guys to this nice dessert right here. See that? When I press it, it would fluff back up. Wow. And this is all wrinkly. It's shriveled up because it's losing the juice in there. The water content is lost, but not completely lost, because this one is not completely dry. You can still, just when I squeeze it, it's so airy in there. So it's probably like 85, maybe even 90% dry, but there's still some moisture in there, and this is just a treat. This is like candy. This is like a marshmallow or a sponge cake. So let's take a bite. Now it's getting more dense because I've been pressing it so hard, so much. But if you could see the inside. Actually, this one is a little more airy than others. Gosh, the inside of this is so moist, just like cake. It really does have like a, like the inside of bread, like moist and a little bit chewy, but sweet. And there's a pit inside, just be careful. The shape of the pit is kind of like an olive pit, so just be careful with it. If you're giving it to children, to your pets to eat, be sure to extract the seeds so they don't get a hold of it. Jujube is a blood builder. It is full of iron. It helps with blood circulation, and in traditional Chinese medicine, food with that brownish red tone usually is a blood builder. It's a more warm energy, which is perfect for this time of the year as we are stepping into the colder season. And you know, Mother Nature knows best. Mother Nature knows the perfect time to give us the food that we need, which is, you know, this time of the year when the jujubes are in season. It helps to build your blood, such as, for example, people who are anemic would experience the cold easier than someone who's not anemic. So this being a blood builder for this time of the year when we're about to, you know, as the weather gets more chilly, makes total sense to me. An elderly person who would need a little more warmth in their body, jujube is really great for that. We also use goji berries and usually would see them at herbal stores or Asian markets or even health food stores now. They carry the dried one. And you can put jujubes and goji berries, even dried longan, which is a fruit that I have featured in one of my previous episodes. If you guys want to check that out, I'll link it below for you guys to go check out. But these three fruits are the combinations that they would steep in hot water to make a really pleasant, sweet tea, and it has a very warming effect to the body. It's also very moisturizing to the throat since we're experiencing more like dry throat sort of a thing this time of the year. We even add Chinese chrysanthemum to kind of balance off the energy of cool and warmth, and to help with the respiratory and you know, just dry throats kind of a thing. Oh, another thing I want to show you guys are these finger citrus. What I've been discovered is I think they're really fun because they're tart, and I can eat that along with the crunchy sweet jujube, and I just think it's so fun of those two different contrast and surprise when I bite into it. So it kind of looks like, some people call it caviar, but imagine this, just kind of sprinkle it in your salads or even on top of your taco or something. It just has a surprise of citrus in there, you know, this what do you call, like a punch of sour all sudden in there. It's pretty fun, pretty surprising and exciting in a meal. And what I like that it's different than lime, whereas you're squeezing the juice and mixing everything would everything would taste sour, but this stays separate. You only get the sour when you bite into these. So it's like, oh. So when I take a bite of this jujube with this, whoa, smells like a lime. But when I mix these two together, reminds me of like a Skittle, like a sour Skittle. Because the skin, the thin skin on this of the jujube reminds me of like the coating outside of a Skittle. But you get the sour and the sweet, and together it's so much fun. By the way, I want to just touch really quickly on this Mexicola. This avocado, the skin is so thin. I can see why this is not available at the normal grocery stores. The shelf life is quite short. You can see that the skin is so thin. It is easy to, you know, to get pierced, to be damaged.
15 or the small one.
Oh wow. It is full of water content. So it's very light, kind of a creamy avocado. The skin is really thin, and it has like a hint of sweetness. There's a little bit of like a star anise, like an anise licorice kind of a taste by the skin too.
Price 25, but I give it to them.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if the inside is brown or is it all green. Is it nice? Just from the outside, sometimes I can't tell. If you guys have a better way to pick out a good avocado, please let me know in the comment section below. But so far with this type of avocado, I've had good luck with every single one of these. Every single one of them, the inside is good. It's nice and green. and it ripens correctly, like fully, evenly. If you guys are not following me on Instagram or Facebook, I would love for you to join me out there because I do more instant updates of my life and, you know, places that I go, the food that I eat, that I don't, you know, sometimes I don't share on YouTube just because they're just really quick moments of my life. So if you want to stay up to date with me, I would love for you to go follow me there, and like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you have not. You can also go check out my website at wendyland.com where I have some plants available there if you want to support me that way. Thank you all so much, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you right back here very soon. Have a lovely day, and don't forget to comment. I always love to hear what you have to say. So, bye guys.